Welcome to a cup of conversation and food for thought with me, Nidra Simmons. I am coming on to just have a conversation on random thoughts, talk about random things. Um, it's a late start for me. It is 12:53 in the afternoon, so I didn't come on at all this morning. I was on pretty late last night. I try not to stay on too long, but I was on uh last night and on my other sites, Totally Over It Yo. Please feel free to come and check me out on that site as well. That is on FB, where I talk about things that we are so totally over and things that we need to get out of our system, clear our mind, keep us in peace, remind us that this too shall pass. Joy comes in the morning. Everything is taken off. Let's relax and go to bed. Wake up refreshed to start the day new. Um, I am totally off my regular schedule, so I do not have a regular schedule at the moment, but I will be popping on still on live to kind of come on. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. To come on and do my part and helping in this society and this world that we live in. So I am sorry I don't have a schedule. You know, things change, things happen, and you just adjust. So if there's anything that I'm showing you all out there, it is that life goes on. This too shall pass. Joy comes in the morning, and joy is here. And when life changes and adjusts, you just move with the flow. If life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. Make the best lemonade that you can possibly think of making. If life throws you rocks, put them rocks in a pot with some water and some other stuff and make stone soup. In other words, make the best with whatever situation that comes your way. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Don't stay in a low place. Contain yourself. Um Try not to look like what you're going through. And the direction is always forward and up. Forward and up. That is always the direction. Forward and up. Um, that's what is working for me. Forward and up. So, um, I hope that that was helpful for someone out there. It's always helpful for me to remind myself to keep going. Life sometimes have to put you on pause because you're either doing too much or you need to regroup because there's a change that's about to come on board. But like I said, this is random conversation talking about anything and everything. Um, you know, so if there's anything that you guys feel that is current events that we should talk about, feel free to put it into the text. I ask that if you are watching me and if I say something that is inspirational to you or something that you can relate to hit those hearts so that I know that I'm not talking to myself and that there is someone out there that is listening. Hello to you. Thank you for joining the live. Much appreciated. So glad to see you all come on to the live. Um, but some things that I was thinking about as I was scrolling through the internet. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Um, it is warm over here, or else I'd be outside. Um, I was outside earlier and it was hot. And so I can imagine now at 12:57, it is still hot out there, but I will try to go out there again today and to soak up some vitamin D. We need all that natural source of nutrients and vitamins that we can get from Mother Nature, from Earth, um, the sun, you know, movement of the body to constantly keep yourself going. I've just been sitting here listening to all old school jams. Um, so Oh, I did not come in and give my spew. Sorry. I do not own the rights to the music. or the commercials that you'll hear playing in the background. That is just music playing to set the tone. This content, this information here, this live is this content is for entertainment purposes only. So yeah, please understand that I do not own the rights to the music or the commercials. I'm not trying to promote anything. That is just what is playing on in the background. Um, I thank you all for joining the live. Um, I don't know if anybody else has felt a little different going on within the past couple of days. Thank you for the hearts. I love to see the hearts. Um, I kind of was on schedule the beginning of last week, I believe, and then it kind of changed towards the middle and the end of the week. And now uh things are starting to come back into play. I came on live yesterday and I was like all over the place. So I don't know if there's a shift in the atmosphere or if there's a change going on or a shift in my being per se, but I know that I'm trying my hardest to stay grounded and to stay focused so that I can continue to move forward and up. Um, so, you know, I was on yesterday and I went back and I looked at how many times I lost my train of thought. And that does not mean that there's necessarily something wrong with me. And if you're out there and you're constantly losing your train of thought, it does not necessarily mean that there's something wrong with you per se. It could be something wrong or something going on that's in the body trying to adjust and to recalibrate, recalibrate, yeah, recalibrate, so that you can get yourself back into the swing of things. Um, but yeah, um, so, for those that are just joining on, this is just a cup of conversation, food for thought on random things to talk about. And one of the things that I do want to talk about is, oh, I didn't even pray, y'all. I got to get back into the game. I want to come on giving honor and glory to Mother, Father, God, Universe. Thank you, God, for watching over us, keeping us and blessing us. Thank you for protecting us in our sleep state, keeping us covered under the blood, washed by the blood, and fully dressed. We're in the full armor of God in our sleep state and as our awakened state, and right now, and as we continue to move on throughout the day. Fully dressed, we're in the full armor of God, and even at the night. Helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, so that God's holy word, belt of truth, and shoes of peace continue to provide for us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every way possible. Thank you, God, for just always, 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 always being there for us. And for me, ordering my steps and directing my path. God, guard my mouth, less of me and more of you, so that I can speak and to your people, say what it is that you want me to say. Use me as that vessel, God, to speak uplifting, encouraging words to your people. Speak whatever you want me to speak to your people, Lord. I'm not here to tell you what to say or how to use me. You use me as you see fit, God. Um, but use me so that I can be a blessing to help others out there. Um, Give much gratitude and respect to our big brother Jesus, archangels, guardian angels, all angels, highest Christ alike, ancestors, guardian ancestors, spirit team here and far. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you do. Continue to have your way in my life. These blessed I pray in your holy name. Amen. To be happy, to be above water, to be successful in everything that I do, to be able to teach and to help others, encourage them to move forward and up. Did I answer your question? Hi, and it has stopped raining and lightning, and now I can see and hear. I see that you pray fast. I do pray fast, and I pray slow. It all depends in the mood. This was fast because I didn't do it in the beginning of the live. I came on and started talking, so I went fast to kind of in my mind get back to the beginning before I got too deep into the live. I don't want to come on these lives and not be protected and covered by God, which I know God's always with me, but it's that physical gratitude, giving thanks before I open my mouth to speak. Beforehand, thanking God for whatever God is going to do for me. So I kind of had it set to do it in the beginning and I didn't. So the rushing, the fast talking was to kind of get that out the way before I continue on. But I don't necessarily always pray fast, but sometimes I do, and I've been known to talk fast. So yeah, but I'm getting better at it. I used to talk real fast. I had people always saying, "Huh? Say that again?" But yeah, I'm not trying to hide no words. I'm just praying. Bonjour, madame. Bonjour to you too. Um, but yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I'm cool here though. I don't have any static on this side, but if I am breaking up to you guys with the internet, I'm pretty sure give it some time, it'll clear up. Right now it is sunny. It's supposed to be raining, but right now it's sunny. Got to get myself back into a routine. I had a break. And now I got to get back into routine. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. This is a cup of conversation and food for thought on random things to talk about. Nothing set in place. This is just me and my attempt to get myself back into routine. The routine, yeah, that's it. Back into the routine. Um, Thank you for the hearts, much appreciated. But yeah, trying to get back into the swing of things because I kind of last week was like I was going through and then something just came and flipped the table over and everything flew off. So I had to kind of mentally, mind's eye is trying to paint a picture for y'all to kind of let you know what I had to do to get myself back on track. So um, I came on live yesterday and I felt scattered. Why they removing the blue and white M&Ms? I have no idea. I didn't know they were doing that. Um, I have no idea. Can't tell you why they're doing that. Um, something to look into. I can't answer that. But that is a random thing to talk about. So you're fitting right on into the conversation. Another thing I want to talk about too is the process. Like I was scrolling through the internet this morning and I heard people talking about the process and how the process can be looked at in many different ways. You have people that is going through a process and they might look a certain way as they're trying to go through the process. Everybody's process is different, but people from the outside looking in, not realizing what that person is going through, will be so quick to throw judgment. They'll be so quick to not want to help them. They'll be so quick to kind of lead them out there to handle things by themselves. My experience. Thank you. That's how I've seen things. When I was in and you're going through many processes in your life. It's not just one set process at the age of 19 and that's it. No, you're going to you're going to go through processes through different parts and times of your life. Sometimes you'll have more process things you're going through than the other. But either way, you still have to go through it. You can't hide it. You can't tuck it under nothing. You got to still go through it. And then you got to get get past it. But what does that look like from the outside looking in? Have you studied the Ethiopian Bible yet? That has all the answers and that can get you back on track. I um I am looking into it. I did redeem myself yesterday, came on and I read a verse that I had get out to all the fathers. And I have it over there to go ahead and go through it. I was going to sit on my patio to go ahead and read through it again, read all the scriptures that I gave out, and come back and read them through the Ethiopian Bible. So the answer is yes, I have looked through it, not completely finished, but I am going back to it. It was just too hot outside this morning. I was sitting there drenching in sweat. So I said, okay, I can't do this because I can't focus. So I said, let me come inside and take a shower. But then when I came inside, I remember there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I had to get done. But I will still do it. I have it set over there for me to go ahead in my quiet space to sit down and look through it and read it. Um, I didn't want to bring it on this one here because this is random thoughts and I didn't have any direction on where I wanted to go with this one. So I will go back and look into the Ethiopian Bible because I did look through it to see how the setup is. And what was different for me is that a regular Bible has the chapters and the verses that goes through, and all the other Bibles I've read has the chapters and the different verses and then the headings on it to let you know where you're looking for or what each Bible is about, what each story is about. The Ethiopian Bible is like more of the whole story in one book. So you have to look for the whole story, the whole like if I say Samuel, the book of Samuel, you have to look at the whole book of Samuel and it's in like a book form, not like it is broken down in the Bible, but it's still broken down because it has the table of contents and you have to know which area to look at. So I figured out what was confusing for me. And I now know how to go back into looking into the Bible. And I will go back and look into the Bible and read some more stuff. But I'm talking about the process that we go through that we're actually living in today. Like, for example, I had to go through several processes. For me to get to where I am today, for me to look the way that I look right now, I had to undergo several different series of processing to get to where I'm at. And a lot of that I went through by myself physically. God was always there, spiritual team was always there. Didn't know how to identify them at the time because I've been going through processes just like you all out there have been going through processes at very early ages. Early ages. It's the Bible that speaks the truth and all your answers aren't in it. I hear what you're saying. The Bible speaks a truth. But you as an individual, you go through things differently. I, as an individual, go through things. The Bible's not going to break down how I feel, what I feel, when I feel it. It's going to give me an overall of what is out there, what's to come, what's to expect as a whole. But as an individual, you still have to look in within yourself. I don't want people to come on here and think that everything is out there. No, what God has for you is in you. And you have to take that time to learn about you and what's in you. And then you can learn about what's outside of you. But you need to know who you are as an individual. The Bible is words of wisdom, word it is life, words. Let me rephrase that. It is a book that has words that is alive and it affects everybody according to whatever they're going through. I'm not taking away from the Bible. But I want everybody to focus and pay attention and understand that you are a individual. You are someone that you have to learn and study. You are somebody that you need to know whose you are, and what you carry. If you don't have that basic stuff from a very early age, you're going through life being pulled in all different directions. So I'm talking about the process within the individual, not taken away from the Bible. Yes, read the Bible, it'll help you. But for you as a person, you need to know who you are. You need to spend that time with you. You need to meditate and spend time with God. Get that connection together. And that understanding that you get of yourself will help you go ahead to the Bible and know where to look at in the Bible. Don't ever lose who you are. You have to be unapologetically, authentically yourself. And the only way you're going to learn yourself is to spend time with yourself, learn yourself, whatever you're feeling. Acknowledge it, recognize it. What is it? Find out what it is. Ask if you're a child, an adult. I'm feeling this way. What could this be? Why am I feeling this way? This makes me feel like this, and that makes me feel like that. Help me explain. Help me understand that. You can't send a child to the Bible and say, go figure it out yourself. You can take a trusting adult that will be able to understand the Bible to break it down for the youth. But I'm learning. I understand what you're saying, and if they go to God in prayer, He can help them in everything. Yes, but you have to learn to listen and hear God. You have God, you have good and you have evil. Both want to get housed into your vessel, but you have to know the difference between who's God and who's the devil or evil. And that's if you know who you are and you know your values and you know right from wrong, you're going to know what direction to steer in. The choice is going to be up to you. And thank you for the compliment. Much appreciated. I see you. You look beautiful too, according to your picture. So thank you. Um, yeah, I this world can pull you in all different types of directions. We all have to start somewhere. And once you know better, you do better. Thank you for joining the live. Much appreciate you all coming on and enjoying the live. If I'm saying something that is helpful, please tap those hearts. Let me know that you're there. Um, or tap those hearts and let me know that I'm on something that's worth talking about. If not, I will shift on to something else. But I do want you guys to, join in the conversation. That's what makes these lives so much fun. And it also passes the time by. Before you know it, it's towards the time to stop. Um, But yeah, random things to talk about. That's what this discussion is about today. And I wanted to spend some time on the process and how the process looks on the outside. And what the process is you going through life dealing with things that you have to deal with. What I go through and how I handle it may not be how somebody else handle it, but they'll still have to go through something similar to what I went through. So if you know yourself, love yourself. You have to love yourself. Despite everything else, you have to love yourself. People today only think about themselves instead of God, but He comes first in everything. God is love. Yes, God comes first in everything, but as a child, you have to teach that child to love themselves, and you can teach them to love God. But you can't just say, "Here, child, love God," and that's it. No, God created everybody else to love themselves. We're creations of God. How we look not loving ourselves and loving God? God is going to be looking like, what's going on? I created you in love. Love you and love God. That you can love together. It's not a if or that one or the other. No, that's a together thing. God lives within you. So if you're teaching individuals how to learn to love themselves, or even grown folks, because you got a lot of grown folks that went through life not loving themselves, affirmations, and not doing for themselves, but so quick to do for others. Do for you. Love God first and foremost, yes, but you still got to love yourself. You and God, God is a spirit. You're creating God's image. That is your basic example of life, God. So you can't separate the two. That's a connection. We're created in God's image, in my mindset, my understanding. I don't separate God and man. I am the little g God. God is the big G God. And when I say little g, I'm not trying to be on no pedestal or saying anything negative. I am a creation of God, the big G. As a parent, you are a parent. You are the adult of the house, but then you have babies. Those children are a product of what you are created between you and the husband, the father, the daddy, whatever. Creation together. So when I say love yourself, you're loving God too. God created you all. How would you? I don't know if I can say it for it to make sense. And I'm not trying to turn nobody away. I'm just trying to get you to think or see things from a different perspective, but not losing sight of what is already there and what we need to stay focused on. Loving you as and loving God is one in my mind, in my eyesight. That's how I see it. You can't take God away from me. God is within me. I am created with the love of God all together. That is what makes me me. Okay? I can't be separated from God. No matter how many people on this earth try to separate me from God, I cannot be separated from God. God is part of me. God created me. So the Bible speaks of parents to teach their children about Him when they're young. Yes, you teach them about God and you teach the children how to love themselves. You can't have children grow up in this world just loving one thing and not the other. You have to love yourself and love God. That's one. That's creation. That's together. If you have to teach it that way, teach it that way. It's not one or the other. God wants you to love you. You are a creation of God. You're a part of God. And yes, you teach your children about God, but you also teach your children their emotions and what they're feeling. Explain to them if they're crying. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Why do you think you're crying? What's teach the children their feelings so when they grow older and into adulthood, they know what they're feeling. They know them. But most parents didn't, and that's why most people are having these problems. True. And you got people well in their age still trying to figure out basic feelings and emotions, confusing this with that when is neither one. You got grown-ups that don't know the difference between lust and love. They're not the same. Yes, they can both feel good, but they're not the same. One is everlasting and one is temporary. You got people that don't know the difference between uh, mad and angry. Yes, they can fall in the same ballpark wanting to do some damage, but one could be a step higher than the other. And that's probably not a good example, but I'm trying to point out that we should be able to know what we're going through and what we're feeling and understand this already growing into our adulthood. But we are in a world to where we have children raising children, people having babies at very young ages, and then well, thank you, thank you. But yeah, and it's all perception, and it's all a process, because you can be trying to teach and help others while you're in the middle of a process yourself. And people may not understand what somebody else's process may look like. Jesus. Well, that's the goal, right? To choose a good man to have good babies. And everything is good in the beginning. Everybody is awesome in the beginning. But at some point, it changes. I don't care what nobody tell me. I've never met somebody who has had the honeymoon phase all the way through beginning and end of their relationship. That's not reality. Yes, it can exist and it can last for a while, but it's not reality forever. It's never too late to learn all about God the Father and His Son and the Holy Spirit. You're right. It's never too late. You got to start somewhere. That's why I don't get mad with people and how they start. Here in Kuwait, there's a real problem. There's a real problem all over the world. And knowing who you are, whose you are, and what you carry is a small solution to any problem, because you know what you're worth. You know what you can do and what you can't do. But there's problems all over the world. All over the world. There's trees coming out of the ground. There's the surface, the foundation cracking. There's storms and everything that's going on, unexplainable. Hail and stuff falling from the ground. There's stuff going on everywhere. We're living in a world that has changed from what I believe it's supposed to be. Yes, it can be forever once you meet a real man. I hear you, but I'm still sticking by what I say. And I'm not saying that relationships can't last and seem like the honeymoon all from start to finish. There's going to be some reality that's got to hit in there somehow. It has to. That's why you go through all these emotions and feelings before you get to your situations. It's to prepare you for what's to come. So I'm not saying that a marriage can't last forever. It can. And y'all can be the best of friends forever, as long as forever is for somebody. But it's not the honeymoon phase all the way through. I can't believe that. I've been married for 18 years. Granted, whether it was the right man or the wrong man, there has been moments. Okay. I'm still sticking with what I say. I'm at that point now where, and I don't want to be like Doubting Thomas, but I have been through enough stuff, challenges, experiences, things in my life to know I have to put some boundaries in place. I have to look at things from a different perspective, because I've experienced and lived life to see how things can change. So all I can say is the proof will be in the pudding. But as of right now, I'm not changing what I'm saying until I'm proven differently. When you know better, you do better, right? That's all I'm saying. But thank you for sharing. And I'm saying this with the utmost respect. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, so please don't take it that way. And I've had my experiences with older guys. Not yet. Okay. All I can say is okay. Not disagreeing. Never met you to say that I can agree and disagree. But I'm just saying. But yeah, but the process from the outside may look like someone is in trouble, someone is lost, someone's confused, all of that. I've gone through life not knowing that I was in a process. I think someone is trying to call me, but I can't answer it now. But anyway, I have gone through life in processes and not knowing that's what I was going through. And I dealt with it like a champ. Other people probably thought I was going not going to make it. and whatever the case might be. But I have a, a creator that has never failed me, has always been there for me, even when I didn't even know that God was there for me. So the point is, people, if we cannot be so quick to judge other people because we don't know what other people are going through. We don't know what other people are going through. We don't know. Yeah, if God's for you, who can be against you, right? I strongly believe that. But we have a lot of people that judge other folks because they're in their process of dealing with life, and then instead of helping them, they're not helping them. I believe that God placed people in people's lives to help them. I believe this so much that I don't want to miss the mark on helping nobody. Hence, this is also a reason why, and it's not the only reason why, but the reason why I come on and I feel so pushed to want to encourage and uplift is because I don't want to miss nobody. If there was someone that God had pointed me out to help, I don't want to miss that opportunity. I want to help everybody that God has assigned me to help. Because I know what it's like for me to be, for God to place somebody in your life, or you are placed in somebody's life for God to help you, and they choose not to. They choose not to. Do you know how many times I have been on my knees bawling and crying and screaming and trying to figure out why is nobody helping me? Why am I not getting the help that I know God sent me here to get to help or to help others? Why? But I'm learning not to ask why. But I'm saying this because there is somebody out there that is probably feeling the same way. God has placed them in people's life. God has uplifted them, relocate them, and put them in the presence of somebody to where they can help them, and they still choose not to help them. Why? Do you know that if God has put you in put you in an assignment or assigned someone for you to help because you are able to help them and you don't help them, that is a blessing that you are refusing? It's crazy. And then you got people that want to help people but can't help them that kind of way because they don't have it. Or I feel sometimes it's held back because if you do it this way, you're going to help more people and not help yourself and lose the fact on why you're being blessed that way. But for those that are in positions and in places to help others, why not help them? Why not help them? But anyway, I just, what goes up must come down. And I'm reminded of in the Bible, don't quote me exactly where it is in the Bible, but I know where it said that it's harder for those who are rich and have money to sacrifice it all and serve God because they're so into, please say, mm-mm, it's coming and you have to wait and remember that we will be tested in our faith, trust in you. Oh yeah, many times over. Many times over. What, 70 times 7 and beyond? Many times over. Yes, I believe that. But for someone that right now that might be or possibly going through something and they're trying to figure out why am I not getting the help that I need? That can be for multiple reasons. It could be that you are in your karma realm or era to where you didn't do what you were supposed to do and you have to deal with whatever it is, go through all these emotions and feelings and get through it to get on the other side of it. There's a lot of people that have so much pride that they can't say, I'm sorry. They got so much pride that they can't get on their knees and say, God, please forgive me. They got so much pride that somewhere down the line, they feel that they are greater than God. Where do that at? Apparently here in the United States or in this world that we live in and it beyond before we even got here. Where do we get so high up to where we think that we're greater than God? Nobody's greater than God. The creator, the one that created all of this, the one that put you here, you're greater than God. Mm-mm. But we got people here that feel that way. And that's the work of this world. That's what this world has done. What the word said, whatever you ask in his name, you shall receive it. For those that love the Lord, yes. But this world here has done a darn good job on turning people from God to man. And I'm playing my little part to remind people that it's the God that's in you that is going to flourish through you and out, not the other way around. That's why I'm always going back to loving yourself, raising up your morale, your value, your level, your energy. Keep it up high. Think high of yourself, not conceited to where, because you can also be too high and then take it to another place. And when you have that pride and then you feel you're greater than God. I'm not talking about that level. I'm saying take it up and keep it above ground. So that way you know that you are loved. You know that you are created like me. I consider myself the rawest form of love. It's in my fibers. It can't come off me. I am nothing but love. That's my making. That is me. It's just one of the signs of time, and the Bible speaks of it. Yes, yes, yes. But you gotta love yourself enough to know that you are better than uh lust. Love yourself better to know better than what somebody say you are. Know who you are. You're supposed to be the one coming in this world telling people who you are, not the other way around. You don't go to a interview and you sit there and let them tell you who you are. No, you go in that interview and you tell them who you are. You tell them what you can do for this company. You tell them how you can make this business better with just them taking you on. And then you show them. You tell them. Be unapologetically confident and uniquely who you are. Stop trying to be like somebody else. This world is made up of so many people that's like somebody else. Be you. That's what we need nowadays. We need people to come up and love themselves and be confident, loving God and putting God first and practicing all of the good things that God has taught us. All of the things our big brother Jesus had laid out for us to learn and to overcome. Live and do things good. Stray away from the bad. Understand what the job is of this world and understand what your job is as an individual. And you'll be stronger and more for you and God than what this world has to offer. So, and I'm saying this because I did not come in this way. When I'm telling you, I hope that you can see and feel the confidence that's radiating off of me, radiance, or that is coming off of me. Making up words here, y'all, because this was not always me. I was someone that was so timid, so very low self-esteem. The devil, the enemy had a field day with me when I was younger, in my teenage and young adult years, even when I had children. The devil, the enemy, this world played a very dramatic, severe part in my life. And I feel like I'm very animated. These days are very hard to do good things for people these days. That's why you do good things for you. Don't worry about what the other people do. Good for you. Take care of you. Do what you can do for you so that you don't have to look for other people to do it for you. That's not being conceited and that's not borderline trying to take away from others. You still can do for others, but if you know what you can do and you show yourself that you can do it and you witness yourself doing it, then you know you can do it. Nothing outside of this world can tell you that you can't or unable to do it. You know without a shadow of a doubt that you can do it. So just do it. Did that make sense? Or did I jumble that up together? Oh, that's an old gem. And if I would have knew you then, things would have been different. I'm pretty sure. But if you have knew me then, I wouldn't have had all the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that I have now to help others. Because I know I'm not the only one that's going through. I had family that showed love, and then I had family that showed their kind of love, which was the I'm gonna say jealousy type of love. People don't like when you say that, but truth is truth. If you're not for me, you're against me. If you don't want to see me prosper and do better or, help me when you're able to help me, and you choose not to because of what? Half family or step family or whatever the case might be, you know better and you're choosing to do wrong. But then you have children that's not even knowing what's going on, but y'all know what's going on. And these children have to grow up and be strong and do things on their own when there's people placed in their lives to help them along the way. I can't put my hand around to understanding why people do what they do, other than the fact that that's what this world is made of. That's the job of this world. This world is to take you off course. Like in that movie, Poseidon. I can't think of the movie, but it was a boy whose dad was uh the god of the water mythology, and then the mom was from the earth. And they had went to this place where there was these lotus flowers that kept them locked into that one place. And it was the father that was speaking to the, I guess he's a demigod. This is a movie. To get his attention inwardly, like telepathically speaking to the boy. The father was telepathically speaking to the boy, and that's how the boy was able to get back into reality. Maybe, but you would be more stronger in the word and more wiser than you are now if you was with me. I'm strong in the word. I'm just careful of how I say it out here. And I'm learning that, things are not all that it is said to be as far as how I was taught. So I don't want to say certain things to throw out there to try to confuse or contradict other people. So I pick and choose what I say. But I do know a lot. I just don't throw it out there and say so freely because this is an open platform. I don't want to choose sides, and I don't want people to be afraid to say what they have to say because they think I'm on one side or they think that this is the direction that this is going to go. But okay, I'm not taking that away from you either, your statement. Life could have been so much better. But yeah. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the hearts. But yeah, and I don't know what I'm noticing since I turned 50. I feel like I've become a lot bolder with what I say and a lot bolder with how I move. Because my hands, I did a recording live yesterday, and I used the stand that turns when you turn, and I was just moving my hands, and then the screen went way over there to that side, like I threw a ball, and it just turned and turned and turned. So I got to be mindful and careful of how I talk and how much I use my hands. Yes, I am in the 50s club. I turned 50 June 6th. So I'm telling you, I feel bolder so far since I became in my 50s. I mean, I feel like too that I've been thrown up and tossed down, and like things are still starting to settle into place. So I feel like life has changed, or there will be, there's changes that took place within me that is settling down to the surface. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's a compliment. Thank you. But no, I'm not 50, not 38. Haven't been 38 in a minute. But I had a conversation with somebody, and we both agree that we're aging backwards. And I always like to say, I'm like fine wine. The older I get, the better I am. And that's in all categories: my mind, body, soul, spirit. But yeah, saying that, thinking that now I can understand how certain people in the Bible live so many years. The longer they live, although the outer appearance may have eventually turned older, they were still young at heart. And how it's important for us to keep our youth alive and strive it and awake within us so that we can keep going. When you get 70, I will love to see how bold you would be, and I'll be 90 at the time. I'm pretty sure I'll be a lot more bolder. I see a lot of senior citizens walking around here with their husbands, and they some spicy individuals. It's cute to see them, both of them walking real slow, talking spicy to one another. It's interesting. It is interesting. But yeah. But life is what we make it, and it's putting your trust in God. I call God, you may call a higher power, creator, universe, mother, father, God, whichever you choose. I know who I serve. And being that we're on a platform so broad, I try to speak to where everybody can connect. I had somebody say to me, "Why you always explaining stuff? Why you always ask me why I'm constantly explaining stuff?" I'm a teacher. It's what I do. Um, so I can't explain. I mean, I can't explain. That's why I do what I do. But on the same note, I can't stop doing it if it agitates you. I don't know what else to tell you. But I'm a teacher at heart. It's my goal to make sure that what I'm saying is clear and is out there. Um, but I mean, every time the person comes to see me is on the live or on the platforms, they make it seem like it's a problem because I'm always explaining myself. Well, you tell me how teachers teach and don't explain. Make that make sense. A lot of people are a lot older than they think that they and your seat it is the Ethiopian Bible. Okay. So do you think that that's the same as reincarnation being here before? So technically, our time is not God's time. So if we've been here before and you judging from, and if you believe in reincarnation, being here from one part to another, that the age still goes on? Thought that just came to mind. And do you believe in reincarnation? And the reason why I say that's because there's a lot of people, and even including myself, I'll go through life things that I didn't study for, things I didn't go to school for, but things that I can do that come so natural. And this is what you all can learn how to do when you learn to meditate and spend time with yourself and then be creative. Try things, color, paint, use your hands to put stuff together. You'll be surprised at what you know just by spending some quiet time with yourself and then doing something that is creative. Because there's people that can use their hands and put stuff together and never look at the instructions ever, and the stuff can be solid and sturdy. You got people, hello, how you doing, thank you for joining the live. This is a cup of conversation and food for thought on random things to talk about, so we just talking about anything. But yeah, we have people that can do anything, and then you ask them how. You said no, it's really 13 months instead of 12. New year in April and January. Okay. Thank you for the compliment. Much appreciated. But can you explain how you can know how to do something and not, and this is conversation. Can you explain how you can figure out how to do something and never ever take the course to show you how to do it? Thank you for the perfume. I love nice smelling perfumes too. Thank you for making your request known, but that's not what this live is about. I'm not here to matchmake. And if you're aiming towards me, age does matter. In the United States, age does matter because if you mess around with someone that's younger than you, you're going behind bars. So age does matter. Um, people are so bold with their stuff, ain't they? Well, I'm so glad that that's what you're looking for. But do you love yourself? Do you take yourself out on dates? Do you have a relationship with God? But yeah. Ooh, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I'm telling you, my schedule changed. Now, I used to get up for years at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now I want to sleep a little bit later. So I got to adjust. I got to adjust. Thank you for joining the live. Much appreciated. If you're there and if something that has been said that was interesting, please hit those hearts. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. Much appreciated. For those of you that just joined, the conversation is random things to talk about. And that's what we're doing. We're talking about random things. Life, aging, spiritual royalty. Share your thoughts. But yeah, thanks for your advice in the last stream. You're welcome. What advice did it help you? Or, well, you said thanks, so I guess it did help you. I aim to help. I'm mad right now. Somebody had made a comment about a particular place, and now I want some food from that place. Oh, well, you're forgetting how beautiful that you were, and that's why the young wolves are coming after you. Yes, the relationship advice he gave me. Okay, cool. And all it is conversation on this live. You know, a lot of the conversation and the attention of and I said a lot, not all, not saying that it's not, but all it is conversation on the live, you know. And I'm learning, you know, as I come on, I'm learning. The more that I help others out there, I'm learning myself. Still nodding. Still nodding. I like this song. How about Cain and Abel? I'm just realizing God didn't give his instructions for offer till after. A lot of things ain't happened until man messed it up. God had a plan, but he also gave us free will. Um, you know, but you know, as you live life here and you get to see a lot of the play outs of the Bible, how God treated us as parents treat their children, and how rules don't get changed or put in place until things happen. And you set those rules or boundaries and you put them into place so that if it won't happen again if it's something negative. So you'll see that as you live life. God is waiting to hear from those who love us in this route. Mm-hmm. Yep. And and it's people that can just remind people, you know, listen, thank you. I had excuse me, um I've been talking about how I need to go walking, right? And I say I'm gonna do it next morning, come in, I don't do it. Do it, say I'm gonna get next morning, don't do it. And then I had someone physically say to me, go walk. Because they were walking. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Why didn't I do it before? Procrastination, laziness, too hot outside, because we've had some hot days. But I went ahead and I went out and I went walking, and I just started. I didn't do my full, you know, I'm going to lead up to where I can go and see how far I can go. Properly, not properly. Did I say something wrong? My bad. Properly. Um, so I went out and I went walking yesterday evening. It was hot. And the gnats, woo, they were tagging my ear like I had some sweet stuff on my ears. I was like, why are they just around my ears? Around my ears, they were just there. So I said, okay, I'll fix this. So I went out with a hat earlier today, and I put on these. I put on the sunscreen. I put on the bugs, the off bug spray that you can put on your body, and then I got some lemongrass oil. I put that all around my ears, and then I went on walking. Now I sweat more because of darn sunscreen, but the gnats wasn't bothering me. I saw them as I was walking, but they weren't on my ears. So now I have a solution, no excuse to go walking. Granted, the hot sun is hot, but um, if I'm not walking in the dead heat of it and it's towards the evening when the wind is blowing, then I can do it. So I'm gonna have to start practicing what I preach when I say, look at the glass halfway full and not halfway empty. They only attack beautiful women. That's when they were attacking me yesterday, and I was like, "What in the world?" It was like I can hear conversations, and maybe that was a sign that God was showing me people are talking about me. But I don't know what the buzz was, but they were talking about me because they were all around my ears. And I'm like, "What is going on?" So I had to make sure that I can protect myself so I can go out there and deal with that because it was too much. But my solution, thank you, Lord, worked because I was able to walk this morning, and I'm gonna try it again. See how many times I can walk, get myself back into the swing of things. And walking is nice too. I went walking. I don't know if I should share this. No, I'm not going to share the detail. But as I went walking, I saw some things that just appeared out of nowhere. I was walking, and I ain't see nobody around me. Next thing you know, somebody's right behind me, just like that. They popped behind me, and then I saw, creatures that lived out there out of nowhere. I walk around the first time, I see them approaching, and then when I walk around again, they're gone. So I'm like, it was just walking out in nature is just a wonderful, wonderful experience. The Cain and Abel story shows how God allowed Abel to be burned. He set it up. When God set it up, you don't think that we create our own problems? We don't build animosity and anger within us. This is why I was saying earlier on my live, I don't know if you caught that part about dealing with emotions and feelings. We as parents have to teach our children what we're feeling. They can feel stuff, but they don't know what it is until you tell them what it is. They can assume what it might be, but you have to talk to a child and say, "Look, you're angry, and let's talk about what happened so we can figure out why you're angry or you're sad, and then make it relatable. Let it make sense to them so that they know what it is." I'm pretty sure if they had that conversation between Cain and Abel back then, and this is my interpretation, my mind of understanding, if the parents would have gotten together and talked things out about what they learned and how they feel after they realized that they did something they weren't supposed to do, and then they had children, and how, what happened, there's nothing new under the sun, and what you create trickles down to the next generation. And if you don't know how to fix things, learn from your experiences and talk it out with other people. If they had talked each other talking out and understand that, sometimes you're going to do it this way, sometimes you're going to do things that I like and things that I don't like, break it down like that, I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't have gotten to that extent. When you read the text, God is late with instructions, and then just watch. Okay, but God already knows what's going to happen before it happens. So is he really late? Or does he already know what's going to happen? And certain things have to play out so that you can see the outcome, so you can learn from it and perhaps teach the next generation what not to do. Could that be a possibility? Because I know God knows all, sees all, everything before we see it. Our time is not God's timing. So what might make sense for us is just a part of what's already taking place in in God's plan. And you said similar to Job. Now I've had a Job experience. I've had a Job experience. And that a brother being murdered for no reason is not a teaching lesson. How do you know that it wasn't a teachable lesson? Apparently you learned something from it, but the lesson is different from everybody else. You clearly learned something from that lesson. About the Bible verses, he was very jealous of his brother, and that's a lot. That's there's a lot to that verse. Yeah, there's a lot to that verse. But apparently it taught you something. So everything happens for a reason, time, and season. We're not the one to judge why things happen. We don't judge. That's not our responsibility or our place too. It's to teach you so you know right from wrong. And when you know better, you do better. Are you going to repeat history and do what happened in that particular situation? Why are you blaming God for a choice that human man made? I'm pretty sure if communication and conversation was in place, it would have had a different scenario. You would have weed out that jealousy, find out the root of why you feel that way or why you angry, and do better. But things have to play out for a time, reason, and season. Nothing is new under the sun. God knows what's going to happen years from now. About the Bible verse. Has anyone bought? No, I have not. And like I said, I'm not here to change nobody's mind. You're going to believe what you want to believe. The problem is when people give God a pass on everything. God drowned the whole world. Not good. Not good. Where is the accountability? Why are you blaming God? For some reason, you're taking away accountability from individuals. People have a free will, free choice to do things. And if you mess something up, I mean, look at how the world is created. Why are you blaming God? Why you can't put ownership on the people that's not doing what they're supposed to do when you're given the option of doing right or wrong? It's only God's job to judge and no other. And people have to understand that. Yeah. A lot of people take the blame and responsibility off of them and throw it on somebody else. That's insecurities that you're passing on to somebody else. Take ownership of what you believe and what you are able to do and what you do and don't do. Don't pass the buck. God gave you all free will. You can't pick one thing and not the other. Free will is free will. Whatever choice and decision you make is free will. We're not blaming God for man's shortcomings and misunderstandings. You can't sit there and say, God, watch all this happen. God gave you all free will to get things right. And if God didn't do what God did, you wouldn't be here today to talk about it. So don't pick and choose your conversations. Take ownership as an individual before you pass on in what the Creator has done. And like I said, I'm not here to change your answer or your perspective. We're going to always see things differently. And that's what makes us who we are and how we are. But let's not pass the buck. God is able to do anything but does nothing. God did nothing during the Holocaust or slavery. It wasn't God that created the problem, honey. When people are disobedient, they never understand and don't want to listen to truth. Yeah, I agree with that. But putting blame on somebody or a spirit that created all, that gave you as a human person free will, why you ain't blaming the people that caused that to happen? It was people that caused that to happen. If you look at it, God ended it so that people can go on and start over and live a different life. It was people that corrupted. It was man that corrupted all of that. It's man that's corrupting the world now. And that's why there's going to be a change, whatever, for the future to come. It's not God. God has given us the opportunity to live on this earth and to make a living on this earth. It's man that want to take total control. But you know what? To each his own. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. I'm not here to change your mind, and you will not change mine. It is what it is. Agree to disagree, and let's move on. What you got for breakfast, or what you having for dinner tonight? I mean, it is what it is. Some people only think of themselves and not others. Yeah, that's the world we live in, and it's the world's responsibility. It's the world's job. I ain't gonna say responsibility. It's the world's job to corrupt God's creation. And you as individuals, we as people have to be stronger than that. And one of the ways that I believe that you can be stronger than that is to love yourself and know who you are, whose you are, and what you carry. Because it's the world that's going to try to break it down and take it away from you and make you feel like you're worthless and you're nothing. But we all have a part to play in this planet, on this earth. We all can make a difference. Fewer, fewer called, many are called, fewer chosen. Many are called, fewer chosen. If you accept the call, then you'll be chosen in some cases. Thank you. Thank you very much. Would you own human beings? God says it's okay. Would you own human beings? God says it's okay. I don't own nobody, not even my children. But you asking me, are you asking the people that feel that they own other people? And get their answer and see what they tell you. We're living in a world of people who make their own decisions, who can be easily influenced by what this world is asking them to be or do. You can't judge everybody on that same note, and you can't blame God because if you, it depends on how you look at it and your perspective. I don't condone evil, I don't condone violence, or none of that sort. But I can only control what I can control. I can only stay in my lane. So I'm gonna do the best in my lane that I can to help educate others to do better. God's word is yes, and the specific instructions. Okay. And I can tell you that the Bible is not how we live set in stone. It is a tool that is provided for us to learn, to know what to expect, and to do right by. But that's not law as far as how you live your life on this planet. This planet right now is different from when the Bible was written. And yes, it's a living word and things happen, but you can't escape the fact that you are living in this world. So yes, use the Bible as a guide, but you can't use it as your everyday daily life because you are an individual that has feelings, emotions, and things that you're going to go through. The Bible speaks of this, and it has to happen in order for return of his son. And to put it in a simple nutshell, men mess up this world. If it stayed the same way, that we would still be under the things that happened before. Change had to take place, whether you like it or not, so that the new world can start or we can start again and live life. You wouldn't have been here if the world hadn't changed to, or things didn't happen in the way that it happened. It's our roadmap to become a part of the royal family. Okay. So, but yeah, we've been on for over an hour. I'm getting kind of hungry. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I will definitely try to be on this evening. So check me out on another platform. And please, if you watch me and you know my vibe and you see my face on somebody else's profile, block them. I don't know what you need to do. I mean, apparently TikTok don't see it as being a problem. I do. But I do not offer, I don't come on here and ask you guys to give me any money. I don't come up here and say that I'm going to do any type of tarot reading. I don't do that. I come on and have a cup of conversation, food for thought, conversation. I believe communication and conversation is a form of healing that is free, that we can all benefit from. So if anybody that has this face come across asking for anything, I do not read cards. I don't do any tarot cards. I get my words, my wisdom, my knowledge and understanding from God in my life that I live. I am not afraid to be transparent and share my experiences to help you better understand things that you can go through and get over because I've reached over and I'm at the other side. So please understand that. What stopped? When the word will feed you. Why stop when the word will feed you? Finish eating the word. Man don't live by bread alone. Read the word and get an understanding and read what else is out there. and compare the two. But be smart, be wise, and be strong enough to not fall into things that is not of God. So again, this is not goodbye. This is so long until next time. So I thank you all. This has been a very interesting cup of conversation, food for thought on random things to talk about. Please be encouraged to check me out on other platforms and to come back and check me out on this one. So this is, a cup of conversation and food for thought with me, Nidra Simmons. Check me out this evening on FB. My commercials will be promoted on TT, and it's totally over it, yo, where we talking about a little bit the little thing, a little bit different things. But either way, it's all to show love, to come on, to uplift, to encourage, to help you find peace, to give you that peace of mind, body, and soul, to move forward and do the best. Remember, the direction is forward and up. If you have to look back, only look back to see how far you came. Until next time, have a wonderful, 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 wonderful Tuesday. Peace. And thank you for the hearts and all of your contributions to the live. It is much appreciated. Thank you.